Okay, in one of your YouTube speeches, talks, you said the boys, the real guides, they work with anyone with a pure heart, and this applies to members of the corporation, to every other person in life, all the levels. And you even mentioned reptilians. I was very shocked by that statement. Know that the boys would even work with reptilians. Are they really good reptilians? How would the boys?
Are there good Christians?
Are they good reptilians? I really waited for Saturday to come to ask this question. Yeah.
Well, really, here's the idea. See, you use the word good, okay? And we do use that from time to time. Oh, the ice cream is good, the cake is good, it's a good movie, good times, whatever. That was a TV show. But anyhow, it's really the risk taker position. In other words, there are people, and again, we'll use Joseph as a reference. He was in the corporation, and there have been many others, and there's Sam there in Nigeria. He was with the corporation too, and many others, and they took the risk. And yeah, that's it. When the individual is ready to take the risk, and life can see this, the boys can see it. And just like a parent can see their child when they're ready to, jump in the ocean. Maybe for the longest time they're afraid. But at some point, it's like, yeah, Dad, I'm ready to do it. It's like, okay, well, let's go do it. And he jumps out there and he starts swimming. Just like Kelsey here. She came here and she never swam in the Pacific Ocean, I'm guessing. Okay, whatever. And now she's out there in a couple of days. She's all over the place. So she's fine. So it's just when the individual, and it doesn't matter who it is, those are body types, reptilian, corporation member, whatever, those are just body types, those are just ideas, yeah. And so it's the individual itself. It's not the institution. It doesn't matter if a person is so-called whatever. They identify with that. And, more so in Book 9, I bring this out because all these definitions that have taken place, and this is the new nowness. I'm rewriting history, like I've said, and you brought up the idea of spiritual freedom. This is the new marketing ploy of Joni. See, she's changing all this stuff because her cabal lawyers have told her so. You need a new approach here because, again, we're coming into this lawsuit, and so you need a new approach here. So, why don't you just kind of change things around, change your marketing ploy a little bit. It's kind of like Nixon after the Watergate, after he was caught. And then he gets on TV and he has his speech writers make him a whole new speech, etc. And then I remember those days. And the idea was his ratings went up. Okay, today it's ratings. That really means something. Okay, from where and who is this? And they can just tell you that, the ratings went up. So everybody thinks, okay, he's okay now because he made this speech and his ratings went up. Again, it's the idea of spiritual freedom. There's really no such thing. It's an idea. That's all it is. Because if you don't have the recognition of what's real, what do you have? You just have ideas. And so it's the same old stuff, isn't it? And again, it's really the risk-taker position. Will you take the risk to step forward into the unknown and do something you've never done before? Will you do that? And again, most people won't. I'm into many business deals. I have for many years with people all over the world, and the top people in the world, and bankers and whatever. And these people really don't know what they're doing. I don't even know how they get to work every day. It's really kind of funny. But for the most part, the reason that they're there, or any of the establishments, anything from politics, religion, to the movie stars or whatever. You know what it's based upon? And just like Paul, how he succeeded, it's based upon agreement. Without the membership, there's nothing. Without the fans out there, what is the movie star? They're nothing. They're just another person, another hillbilly or whatever. Okay, that's really all it is. But when they get agreement, they really reflect upon themselves and usually become self-absorbed and think that they are something because of that agreement. The richest people in the world, they're self-absorbed. They think that because they've got money, which is created out of nothing in their bank accounts, that they have something. Actually, the more you have, the less you will have. This is very real. Here, it's like a philosophy, but according to the whole of life, it's very real, because the whole of life doesn't recognize any of this. It recognizes what I'm presenting. That's verified over and over again, and if people accept it, fine. If they don't, fine. I'm fine with it. I always figured I'd do this by myself. But I'm so grateful that others have stepped up, that they have the chance too. This is how it is. It's huge to recognize any of this. And so all these things that are brought forward, Charles, it's good. I'm glad you're doing it. And the challenge, you see the challenge. You're verifying the challenge of this world, and that's just what it is. So again, everything that has been created up until this time, just kind of like the officialness of AD and BC. Okay, they created this point in time and space, saying, okay, this is AD, after death, and before Christ or whatever. So they created this kind of idea, and that's why I, made the statement. I wrote it, the new nowness of the all is. At a certain point. It really doesn't matter about the date. It really doesn't. I don't care about the date, if it's 07 or 01 or whatever, because there's transitions there. It really doesn't matter about that. All that matters is it is now, and it is. That's all that matters. And so time and space is an idea. These are simply ideas that we play with. And it's fine. We need these references because we have these bodies here and the positions we're going through. But yes, thank you for asking the question. In other words, yes, there are reptilians out there that have been there for the longest time, and they're trying to figure out their situation too. They really are. Many of them are. Especially I would say the soldiers, because they see how oppressed they are. Remember the movie The Wizard of Oz, when it was near the end, and all the soldiers, Dorothy and the Tin Men and the Scarecrow and whatever, they were in the castle, and all the soldiers, and the witch confronted Dorothy and saying this and that, haha, I've got you, my pretty, and whatever. And then Dorothy threw water on her, or whatever the scene is, and she started to melt. And they thought they were all in trouble. It's like, oh, we killed the queen. We're sorry, we did that. We didn't mean to do that. She was apologizing. Then all the soldiers cheered Dorothy on, saying, yay, she killed the witch. This is really how it is. These people that are under the thumb of these knuckleheads, these supreme rulers and stuff, even Hitler's generals wanted to get rid of him. It's always that way. It's always that way. How many people will probably want to get rid of Joni? She's a witch. She's a bitch. She really is. I've got testimonies from a gal that worked there from 75 to 85. They know what's going on in these things. And so, but it's just part of the adventure. It's just choices. So, yeah, but you have to be the risk taker now. You really have to step up and just do it. And it's okay. You'll be okay. It's like walking into fresh air. It's because you don't need the restrictions. But, we have grown up. We have been through, excuse me, nothing but restrictions, and, subjected ourselves to keep agreeing with them. And these individuals, I see it. I know that there are many of them out there, but they're just afraid. but they must confront their fear. That's, they have free will. They can do it. It's just very simple. Just step right through it. Or just stay stuck with it. And I've known many people, and even my former relationships, it's the fear that holds them. But they'll pretend otherwise. But yes, as we're presenting this, Charles, people, I saw in the business world, they really want to see something real. They deal with a lot of foo-foo, and they think it's fun, and they make their living off of it. But, really within themselves, they really want to see what's real. And, they may not like you or whatever, but they really do see that within themselves. Because it's evident. It's like the sun shining. You can hide, but it's awesome how the sun shines. You really can't deny it. You can, decide to, but realistically, you cannot, because you cannot touch it. And the references that I create are very real and sincere. And, but each individual has to decide that for themselves, or they don't. This is an opportunity. This is where I have always been grateful, because I myself have had to go through this. And we go through it many times, even in my past life where I was aware and coming back and becoming more aware. You see, we go through it many times, just like we wash our clothes many times. You see, we wear them, we wash them, we wear them, we wash them, until we get to that point where we really decide to focus and recognize this isness. And so this is where we are now. It's so cool. It's so precious. Yes. And so, does it make sense to in any way relate to the aberrations that are creating the demise of this world in reference to what is being presented here? I don't see that it does. But there are many individuals, and just all of a sudden they step up, just like Mr. Bill. He's not here today. Wonderful man. It just went through so much and was with the corporation for a lot of years and was in a conference with some people and his wife and others. I was just imagining what he was telling me, and they were to go to some website or whatever on the internet, and then he saw our stuff and our tapes, etc. And right there in the middle of the room, he just gets up and goes, I gotta go. I'm out of here. And then he goes home and listens to more tapes. Yeah, that's a risk taker. It's like, I'm out of here. He could have agreed to his mind. He could agree to his emotional attachments. He could agree to his wife that was there and their relationship. He could agree to all that. See? But he didn't. He said, I'm out of here. I'm doing this. And now he's doing it. And he's contributed a lot. So yes, there's many out there. There's millions, hundreds of millions, and billions that are ready. But it's only going to happen, and just like Paul, when he was here, the only way it's going to happen is that those individuals that first came along stepped up and shared it. It is, at that time, the membership that creates the reality. Paul can't physically touch everybody, but others can, and that creates the foundation. See, it's not me. I'm the presenter here. It's all of you. That's why I put you first. It's not about me. See, I've reversed everything. See, there's Harry on stage. It's all about him, because it was all set up for him. It was already a done deal, a turnkey operation. There's the membership, there's the board of directors, there's the corporation, everything's in line. And, Joni gets to build the temple because, again, she knows that it's going to really make things solid and official with a temple, etc. It's all turnkey for him. Me, I had to create everything here. But it's real. The reference is real. And it's sincere and it's genuine. Yeah, see, it's all about him. He's the front for her. She rakes it in. Money and power, just like Scientology and whatever. Hey, have fun. You can have it. You got nothing. Now she's got to deal with it. and it's going to be more so. But this creates a great adventure for us. So these people are waiting for all of you to step up and to share something wonderful with them. Me, I'm the scary guy. Okay, I'm the presenter. That's why they always come to Ava. That's fine. I'm the scary guy. But I share what I do with all of you sincerely, and a certain number of you have the courage to step up and out there. This is how you earn your way. I'm showing you how to earn your way so that you're okay. This is how I taught my daughter. I taught her to be self-sufficient. My wife taught her to be dependent upon her. And she sees it's not working. It just creates issues and drama. So when we let go of these silly ideas, relationships, families, all these things, and just be real with one another, hey, it works. Again, nature demonstrates this. We're all just cool. The boys demonstrate this. We're so lucky to know them. This is so fortunate to recognize this. Recognize that. It's that recognition. And so, yes, Charles, the challenge is ours. The challenge, because we get to wake up through that challenge even more so and recognize how awesome, standing real with the all is. So that's why I take on the challenge and the adventure, because it gets better as the world decides to get worse, because there is nothing in this world, even though we do have a relationship to it. But again, not everyone will see it. That's the real razor's edge, and you have to be the risk taker. It's easy to agree with your emotional attachments. Well, that's all you have. And again, as most people, as they get older and older and older, and at that very point, just like in 2001 when he's laying on the bed and looking at the monolith, from the accumulation of his life, all he has is memories, because he still didn't recognize what that represented. All he has is his memories, and your memories will drag you back here, because that's all you have. You don't know where else to go. You'll go into the astral world, and you'll be there for a few moments. You don't even realize you're gone. It's like, well, where am I? What do I do? What do I do next, or whatever? You really don't know. And then the easiest thing to do is just go to what you know. It's just like homeless people. They don't know what to do with themselves. So they just hang out, and they'll just hang out forever. There's this one homeless fellow I see down here. I've talked to him before. I've given him money. And he just sits there all day long. He walks around. I see him years upon years upon years, and he just sits there. And it could be one of the boys, too. I don't know. Whatever. But, yeah. This is what I see. This is why I confront everything that I do. This is why I deal with these funny people in the business world. It's easier to deal with kids and etc. But when you get in the business world, these people really don't know what they're doing. They think they do. They've created routines that they go by. Yeah, but they really don't for the most part. They think they're so smart. They're just adding to the demise of the planet. But they want it, so we just do what we can while we're here, and we're only going to be here so long. Because as things go, it's going to eventually become infected like everything else. Because this is just how it is, because people are going to agree that it should be. So we've only got so much time. And just like what Paul presented, and here it is, after his time, here is 30, 40 years later, whatever. It's totally different, but it looks the same. It's just like the milk and ice cream and the cookies we get today. They're not the same. They're not the same as they were in 1960. They look the same. The Oreos look the same. The milk looks the same. It's not even close. It's not the same at all. None of it is. It's all infected. Most of it's got aspartame and hormones and, all kinds of drugs and, it's just all infected. But it looks the same, the appearance of things, and the taste is there. They use taste enhancers. So this is a challenge for people. And Paul talked about it too, but we're in it now. We're right in the middle of it. And it's okay. because now the real step is to recognize your real awareness in relationship to everything else, because this should motivate you to even wake up more. If it doesn't, well, that's a choice you make. It's not up to me. It's not my fault. There's no faults here. It's all choice. You make the choice. So let's see how many of these individuals, and you'll see it on the real side too. You know, there was a movie with Peter Sellers. Oh geez, oh now it escapes me the title of it, but he had a double in there. But I've used this reference before, and there was the bad guy in there, and all of a sudden near the end, when he saw that he was losing, he changed sides. You know, there's been a lot of people like the whistleblowers that work for these corporations, stuff like that. All of a sudden, they change sides. They're there, and as more people do it, they're taking the risk to step up, and they're going through their challenges to try and find us. And when the boys feel that they're ready, they will bring them around. And it's just like when I was married, Rebazar brought my former girlfriend around. And so I had a girlfriend while I was married for almost 30 years. And because it was so, and we were having experiences on the real side, because my wife was a particular, and Rebazar, little by little, wanted to bring me out of that kind of agreement and encasement. That's all. And so that's what helped prompt me. And then from there, she's gone. She's doing her thing. Actually, she's going into future lifetimes because that's her choice. This is all amazing what I've been through, but this is part of it. And again, it's not about relationships here. It's about your real awareness. It's a challenge to recognize that. So let's see who shows up. That's the fun part. And let's have some fun with Joseph. Let's humor him a little bit. These are not attacks. Yes. He's just chewing the wrong bubble gum right now, but he'll get through it. Yeah. Needs to change his brand. So thank you for asking, Charles.